Yeah, try to put it on my AirPods so that sound is cleaner. Mm.
All right, so don't say a word. We're ready to go live on everything as well. Can't hear you. Check, check. Can you hear me? Can't hear you. Nothing. Yes. No. Wait. Where you gone, Marlon? It says you're muted. It's yo people. We're experiencing a couple of difficulties, technicals, but we are here. This is. I don't know what should I call this? Huh? This is where I'm having conversations with people about loads of different things, really, and people from all different fields of the world. Oi, oi! I don't think that's a great suggestion, to be honest. Can't really call this the Oi Oi podcast. Maybe. Oi Oi! Sounds a bit British, I don't know. But definitely, it's us here just having conversations with people from the Caribbean diaspora, in the Caribbean as well, about many, many different subjects. So the last time we had a conversation, it was about St. Thomas or the Virgin Islands, and things that may be impacting the Virgin Islands, holiday makers that you may feel as though, yeah, it's great because there's tourism. However, tourism negatively impacting the real lives of the locals that are living in these islands. That was one of the last conversations we had on here. We've spoken to everybody from business development people, tech people. Today we're going to be speaking to a financial consultant. He's just fixing up his I'm just checking messages now. Yeah, he's just fixing up his tech so that he can come back online. For whatever reason, we can't hear him. I don't know why. But we've spoken to so many people over the last I want to say 6 months. We've done every subject. We've done things from carnival to, like I say, to finance, to ghost stories, to personal development. You know, we've got a program, we've got a live or a podcast coming up discussing Caribbean people with children that have autism, and also grown people, grown Caribbeans, all from the Caribbean diaspora, people with autism that have grown up with it and may not have been diagnosed until later on in life. We got that program coming up very soon. So we're dealing with a lot of things. Mental health will be the next one. We're dealing with a lot of things, and we're trying to discuss the important subjects. Yes, we're here for the sexy subjects as well, but also the stuff that people don't necessarily, the stuff that's important, but people don't necessarily broach on a regular basis and don't discuss. We're here to discuss it all. Rum Base, we are the culture. We are. And if we are the culture, we can't just talk about one thing in the culture. We have to talk about everything in the culture, yeah? So, yeah. Big up everybody that's here, that's in the room right now. Big up everybody on the live on Instagram. Big up Junior. Big up Remstar. We are still waiting to be joined by Marlon once he fixes his earpods. Modern technology, what a thingy. How's everybody doing? How's your week going so far? How's your year going so far? Have you achieved everything that you set out to achieve? Are things moving in the direction that you'd like it to move in? Are you still where you were last year? And there's no problem with that. You know, are you relaxed? You chilling? You eased into the year now? 6 months into the year, you know, where's the time going? Big up Remy as well. I don't know if I can say out live what I congratulated you on privately. But it's great to see. It's great to see. I don't want to give out too much information just in case I'm not allowed. But it's great to see things are going well and things are going in the direction that could be expected. Yeah, so that's what I've got to say here. What does everybody else have to say? What do you have to share? Oh, let me tell you then, seeing as you want to know, on the 6th of July, we have Rum and Bass in Bristol at the Jam Jar. So make sure you attend that if you're in Bristol. On the 24th of August, of course, is the Rum and Bass Boat Party. Carnival on the Thames is Neon Edition. So make sure you reach that. I got a partner that I need to tell you about. Loads of people come out to party with us, and they may not necessarily drink alcohol, or they may drink alcohol, but they don't want to drink because they're driving or whatever. We have a partner that provides non-alcoholic rum. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I told you, non-alcoholic rum. So that means you can still come to Rum and Bass and get rum and bass and not drink alcohol because you may be sober curious. They do also these beautiful drinks in cans as well. They got mojitos in cans, etc., etc., etc. Well, I'll tell you more at another time. On the wall, go on with. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have to put this on mute for a sec. Yes. So, Marlon has said, "Beg your 5 minutes." So I believe he's experiencing some technical difficulties, but we're so appreciative of his time. He's an absolute G. So, if I'm begging 5 minutes, of course we can allow 5 minutes, man. No problem. But just let me know that you can hear me out there. I will live and kicking me live and in living color. Yo, Junior Dan, big up yourself. Don't go nowhere, bro. Let me start. Go and big up yourself. Everybody else that's on the IG. Go and big up on yourself. What was I talking about? Oh, non-alcoholic rum. Yeah, non-alcoholic rum is a thing. What's happened over the last few days and weeks? If you jump onto www.rumandbass.com, you can actually see the DJ lineup for the Carnival on the Thames. We do offer special rates for blue light badge holders because I believe it's necessary for us to look after the people that look after us when we are our most vulnerable. Also carers as well. We look after you as well. All of the early bird tickets are gone. The VIP early bird tickets are gone. The regular early bird tickets are gone. We understand the release, and today we just released yesterday we released the actual tables. So things are moving at a great rate. So I would advise you, please do not wait because we know what it's like. August coming, you ain't got your ticket. You're phoning me up, yo, you have a ticket. You have to go in the queue, as you guys call it, or the line. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Just get your ticket from them. Because you already know it's going to be lit. Fire. So we're not worried about that. I want to send a special shout to my friend, GP. That person is flying out to South Africa tomorrow. When I wish you safe travels. Go with God. Work good. And, wish you all the best in your travels and endeavors. Everybody else that's tuned in from all over the islands as well, big up yourself and thank you so much for being tuned in, locked in, and locked on. You already know how it goes. What else should we talk? Oh, thank you, people, for the support that you've given to the tune that I dropped on Friday. Um, Them Not Like Us. Yeah, which is a remix of They Ain't Like Us by Kendrick. I did Them Not Like Us, which was my take on the fact that they don't necessarily seem to, a lot of people outside of the Caribbean and seem to enjoy the Caribbean culture, but not really want to interact with Caribbeans or respect our contribution to things. So did Them Not Like Us. The numbers were rolling nicely. If you haven't seen it yet, if you haven't watched the video, if you haven't listened to the tune yet, please make sure that you jump online and do so. Run the numbers up, because it's important to do that. If you like it, of course, leave some comments, share it, tell your friends. Boom. Other than that, we're just there. We're moving nicely. We're waiting for the numbers also rolling up. Hang tight, Silent Killer. Yo, Silent Killer, we are going with, bro. Everything is good. Give me a quick pause tune, man. Bless up yourself, bro. Bingo brunch. Go and big up on yourself. Oh, let me tell you about the brunch. So we have a brunch. I'm going to be involved in a bingo brunch. It will be on the 27th of July. Now, the maddest thing is, people, it's going to be on the day before I do a Ironman. Do you know what an Ironman is? Okay, let me tell you. An Ironman is where you swim 2 miles in open water, then you cycle 80 miles, and then you run a marathon. I'll be doing a half Ironman, to be fair. It's still 100 kilometers traveled though, so it's going to be a 2 mile swim, it's an 80-mile cycle, and it's a half marathon. So wish me luck on that. But before that, the day before, is a thing called Full House, which is a bingo brunch event. And in this bingo brunch event, it's actually hosted, well, it's actually Stush. You know, Stush! Dollar sign and then get Stush, hello. Yeah, run to them, hello. Move foot, never follow. Yeah, that Stush, garage legend. Dancehall and garage UK legend. It's her event. It's like I said, it's called Full House. It's bingo brunch. It's gonna be a madness. Make sure that you're there. If you want to catch up with me on Sunday, we're doing music with meaning and healing. Yeah, you see all them amazing type events I'm doing. This particular event, I can tell you, is going to be at in West London. So let's get the information for you so that you'll know. It's going to be Lovers and Pies, 50 Harrow Road, Wembley, HA96PK. Yeah, music with meaning and healing, and it's Kuda London and MSG presents. That's going to be a great event because A, they're great people, and B, I'll be playing. You don't know. Yeah, I believe that is it. Just waiting for Marlon to see how we're getting on. I think he should be at home now. Should be set and ready to go. And just as I said it, he's here.
Yeah, sorry. I had to race home and thing. I had to
No problem.
race home. And
No problem.
because the day went south. So everybody, I apologize sincerely. You know, best laid plans and all of that and everything, you know. But
no problem,
drive
man.
like a Maxfield taxi man and I reach home. So I take the out. So let's see if we can get how much we can get thrown into this in the time and all. I don't even know which part we're there.
All right, so we're gonna start it. We're gonna start it like this. First and foremost, I've been winding on the time, you know. I've been
yeah, no, don't worry.
MC
Don't worry.
duties.
MC duties. I know how that is. I know that's the worst thing. Like in the middle of you have a session and you have to ad lib.
Exactly. But you know what? I'm so first and foremost, I'm so thankful that you are here and you have afforded us the time. I know you're a busy man.
Yes, allegedly.
Well, brother, I see you do. Was it Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica,
And
where else?
Dominica, yeah, it
And
was a quick
Dominican
run.
Republic in a
Quick
second.
run.
So, bro, I
It
know
was a
you're a
quick
busy guy.
run. So,
Um,
yeah, quick
so
run.
I want to tell the people first and foremost what I know about you is that,
Yeah.
and I have spoken already, but just
Hmm.
now for the formal introduction,
Yeah.
Marlon Music, aka Marlon Music Campbell.
Yeah.
Man, this guy is a financial advisor. He's also an MC. He's also the man. He gets the party moving. And I said it in the text as well. He also gets your money moving in the right
Yeah. Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I try. I
so
try.
the main reason why I kind of reached out to you, Marlon, and wanted to speak to you is because I believe it's important for us to see Caribbeans doing much more than just the dancing and partying. You know,
Yeah.
because there's so much there to it. And I want to make sure that our people are understanding that, yes, you can come for a holiday, but Jamaica offers investment opportunities,
It
various
does.
other
It
things
does.
that can
It
be
does.
done. And other things that, it's not necessarily the sexy conversations, but it's the
Yeah.
conversations that are necessary,
It's a very
especially,
important one.
of course, especially post-pandemic now, where people are realizing that they can travel some more, etc. So I just wanted to open the gates right now and let you speak and kind of just tell people who you are, what it is that you do. Hopefully, I've done your introduction.
more than I tell everybody I love, like, when I'm going to do something and somebody is like, yeah, I mean, how? And I'm just like, because I'm Marlon. And they usually say it's being cocky, but the truth is, that's it. It's whatever you want it to be at times. Yeah, I do finance with Sagicor in terms of insurance, investments, etc. I do some emceeing, I do some event coordinating. I have a event with my DJ Matt Camps called Soca Camp. We're heading to Barbados this summer and thing, to crop over things like that. But for me, it was a while trying to find the balance between, party boy, finance, father, no, all of that and thing. And as you say, Jamaica offers a whole heap of investment opportunity. It does. It's a lot more than sun, sand, sea, and sex. It's a lot more. And it's really, it would help. And this conversation is timely because there's this big debate right now about the diaspora and the diaspora's role in Jamaica. It's divided almost down the middle. Persons are like, everybody, they're grateful for the diaspora's involvement because you have more Jamaicans living outside of Jamaica than you have living in Jamaica. And I'm sure it's almost the same for every Caribbean country, that you will find a greater diaspora for Trinidad living outside of Trinidad. And all. With Jamaica, definitely with the Windrush generation and everything, persons who we have a lot of persons who were born here, a lot of persons who were not born here, but are a generation or two removed, who definitely still identify as Jamaicans. And that's a whole nother conversation to have, what makes you Jamaican and whatever, but that's another conversation. So I say it's timely because we are literally having that debate right now. How much of, access and control should diaspora people have? Should we have diaspora people allowed in the parliament? Somebody postulated the idea that we should have 4 seats in parliament set for the diaspora. I'm not sure if I agree with that, because I feel like if you are going to make a decision like that, you need to live here for seat to have the
100.
consequence. But definitely, we think that the diaspora could be a very serious, it's a good group to actually help to bring and move the country forward, because a lot of persons still have that desire to come back home at the end of everything. Even those who have never been home, have that desire at one day coming, retiring to Jamaica and everything. And so we both persons who are living here and the persons who are living overseas have a vested interest in ensuring that this is an island that you want to live at. I know we have our challenges, but I don't think these are challenges that will ever be meted and will ever be fixed without interaction from both sides. We can't do it alone, and the diaspora can't do it alone. You understand? So creating investment opportunities, definitely. Let's go into that. I mean, you might or might not have known that Jamaica, until probably the last 2 years, had like the fastest growing stock market over like a decade. From early 2010, 2011, it's just been booming and so forth. We're getting a lot more financially sophisticated, some of it out of just necessity, because we have some boys out here who, to be honest, cause we're having a frank conversation, who might
Yeah,
have been using they might be using their intelligence in the wrong way.
chop on
So
them, chop on them.
yeah, yeah. So we've been forced to become a little bit more financially sophisticated. We still have a ways to go, you
Mhm.
understand, in terms of becoming an electronic, a digital society. We still have a ways to go, but I think the involvement of the diaspora will, force it to happen rapidly. But the investment opportunities are here, not just in terms of our stock market, but in terms of even businesses as such. I think ideally a lot of persons, and even just living here and working overseas, I think work from home has become a big thing right now. Remote working has become a big thing. So maybe as a diaspora member, you want to come back home and say, you know what, let me go and enjoy some of the sun, sea, at the same time I have some pounds. Because it's a nice place to live when you have some foreign. When you have, me as a seriously,
We got some currency.
when
You're good.
you're the pound, I get a 160, 170 for it. It does. I mean, at the end of the day, 3,000 pounds a month is a damn good salary to go on to work with and thing. So the opportunities are here overall, and thing, and so it's really to just do your research, look at what is presented. I think the country is very open. I think we want a lot more from the diaspora than the barrel them. We appreciate them, don't stop sending them. We appreciate the remittance, don't stop sending them. But instead of just sending your money home to take care of family, maybe you can look at a way that you can put it in the country that could generate further income for you, for this said family. Maybe that £12,000 a year that you end up sending, you know perhaps that 12,000 could put you in a business that generates that 12,000 a month. These are the things to consider and
No,
thing. And your expert.
you see, that's
Sorry.
that's an important. No. That's great, because that's an important point. See,
Yeah.
most of us that are connected back home,
Hmm.
um, are accustomed to the Western Union transfer
Yeah.
or the
Hmm.
barrel them, because we come
Hmm.
from the environment where we were once waiting for the barrel or the transfer. Yeah? So,
Whole heap of dial soap me get.
uh, but
See. Yeah.
that's where, and that's a big part of why I started having these kind of conversations,
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
to say, well, all right, I'm tired of telling people exactly what you said, which was Jamaica's got the fastest growing stock market. There's this investment,
Mhm.
because a lot of people listen to the horror stories,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I can't go back
Mhm.
home. As me reach them, I go kill me. And all of
Mhm.
these kind of stories, which, if we're being frank and we're being honest, there are some cases of
They
this,
are. Yeah, they are. They are. They
but
are.
that's
Trust
not
me.
the majority of cases, right?
Yeah.
So trying to,
Mhm.
and also you've had people that have been stung in the past with trying to create a business and work with people, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
send money every month, and you come
And
back home and
nothing
yeah,
is there, and this is where due diligence does come in fact. I mean, never to say use your family, because family sometimes is who can burn you. Maybe it's you need a stranger, you see me. But just as how you do your due diligence with anything, you would need to do that, and there are lots of areas, I think, that gaps exist in which they'll be excellent. And maybe for persons locally, the cash that's needed to make it happen is not there, that raw cash.
mhm.
But the opportunity for somebody with that it could come in. Because funny enough, I have more than one friend who have money invested in Britain. They're getting money from England in terms of returns on investments that they have made there and all. So it's really funny when you think that it's going that way. But an area of opportunity that I think exists for overseas persons is in farming.
Okay.
We are grossly underserved in terms of we are not food. we're not food self-sufficient right now. We aren't.
Yeah.
Bad for, but you can't believe that. You'd be surprised how much imports we take in. But you see, we might argue that we can't compete in. There are some areas that we can't compete in. We're good. I just Sarah, see, we're still with me anyway. Um, there are some areas that we might not be able to compete in, but there are lots of areas in which we have a unique advantage. Let me see. I'm not seeing Sarah. So let me double check. We good? If we're still here, I don't want to be, you know, don't want to be chatting and there's nobody to chat to. You there?
No problem, brother. No problem at all. Thank you so much. Hey, man, and I don't know what's going on. I'm going to reboot and come back again. Give me 2 minutes, please.
Mm. Good, good, man. Good, good. Yes, sir.
Yo, Marlon, I'm back. Hello, check one.
Yeah, good.
I do not know
Check.
what just happened, but we're back. We're back.
Don't worry about it. We're good. I was just in the meantime double check. Okay, this now gonna work. Move this. All right. Yeah, but I was saying before the internet decided to be mean to us. I was
Mhm.
saying that an area that I think a lot of opportunity lies is in farming. You know,
Yes.
we are not going to be able to compete in certain areas because of just the fact that those farmers are supported fully. Government will buy all they want. I mean, like competing against the US in certain areas. But what we do have is black, green, and gold. Brand Jamaica is, yeah, it powerful. It very powerful. And they're niche crops, I believe, that we could do very well in. And even not just niche, like even right now, surprisingly or not, lettuce is scarce in Jamaica. Lettuce, Romaine lettuce, and if you find it, you're paying a pretty penny for it. I mean, let me translate to you're paying like £10 for a little bit, and so
Whoa.
forth. So that's what we're talking about. But that is a fluctuating type one. I'm talking about steady things like ginger, where the demand for Jamaican ginger was only on recent checks. I don't think we fulfill 15% of the demand for Jamaican ginger.
Okay.
So there's that. So there are lots of opportunities in farming, and not just farming, but in also in the not just the direct farming in terms of the raw crop, but in the addition. You understand? There are so many different pepper sauces popping up and different things. The brand Jamaica itself, the good thing is you don't have to compete in terms of price, because Blue Mountain Coffee, yeah, you can get Brazil produces more coffee. So many places produce more coffee, but there's only one Blue Mountain Coffee, you know. And
Correct.
so, and there's and God, I'm going to probably all segue all over in different places. Yes, I think part of what government might need to do is in geo marking our products. So something like jerk, me not supposed to see jerk come from Sri Lanka. Me not
No.
supposed to see jerk come from Argentina. So the little things, just that, making sure that so that when you produce and send out a product, that little black, green, and gold thing on it and it says jerk or Jamaican, it's authentic. But that's where I think a lot of opportunity lies in farming in Jamaica right now. Whole heap of land there that government will lease, people come with a proper plan to say this is what we want and this is what we're gonna do. Whether or not it's pepper, and you can sell the raw pepper, and if the raw into all the place, and if the raw pepper itself, when it's getting further ripe, you can always create a pepper sauce. Your grandmother they leave you a bad little pepper sauce recipe.
Of
Maybe
course.
it's time you make Aunt Enid grand in pepper sauce, because look, um the space is there. Spur Tree Spice just IPO'd a couple of years ago, and they
Mm.
have grown. Their stock has grown. They're looking to expand right now into where they're going. Brand Jamaica is huge, so you as a diaspora person might want to. Let me tell you, you make money by solving a problem. So if you think right now, what is this that I am in England that I would love to get from Jamaica that I am not getting enough of? And that might be a business opportunity. That might be a business opportunity. You might not be able to, in terms of distribution and just raw network, compete with a Grace or whatever, but you can make your home tasting type sauce that everybody like, and smaller distribution. Grace is trying to make $100 billion. You might be happy with 1 million. So farming, I think, is where a huge, really
So
big opportunity.
from my experience, right,
Mhm.
Marlon, to go into it. See, 'cause
Mhm.
we're here, we're talking frankly, right? If I was sitting down with you
Yeah,
with a drink of beer, I'm gonna talk proper. So
yeah.
my
Mhm.
family is
Mhm.
in farming, and my
Mhm.
so my business ventures have been in farming, bee farming,
Mhm.
so honey,
Mhm.
obviously.
Yeah, my
Um,
daddy used to do that.
see there? Oh, because my
Yeah.
family is from up in St. Catherine. Well, we're from,
Oh, yeah, see,
right?
Manchester, St. Elizabeth side.
Okay.
Everywhere.
So
Mm.
so bee farming and actually farming the so from everything from planting to
Mhm.
yam, etc., ginger and so on. So we have certain things. The
Mhm.
the issues that me personally have encountered, because I may
Mhm.
come back every year
Yeah.
and go to the farm and all right, where do we need to do.
Mhm.
It's really
Mhm.
trying to get into the mind frame of, I wonder when you talk about exporting food,
Yeah.
if how the IMF deals impacted things back
Okay.
in the day, which then
Oh, yeah.
created
Yeah.
problems moving forward.
Killing a lot of our farmers and
Killing,
a lot
killing
of
agriculture.
the preferential deals and so forth that we would have. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're in an environment right now where we should be able to compete without a preferential deal. Yes, our product might cost a little bit more, but the branding of it is what will get us, because it's so niched.
Mhm.
It's so niche. Like, people will pay a premium because of where it's from. Like I was
Yes.
saying, our coffee is not going to be the cheapest, because our coffee farms are not the how much acres like in Brazil. But the fact that it's Blue Mountain coffee means that they will pay, especially like in Japan, and so they'll pay so much for it. So that's why I think it's the same sort of mindset we should look at, like with our ginger, with our pimento, with our nutmeg, things like that. I don't think we'll see nutmeg, but I don't think anybody is actively farming it like how it should be farmed. Like, yo,
But then
acres
Grenada
and
has been
acres.
locked down, right?
Yeah, but Grenada not supplying enough for the world. Grenada is small,
Actually, you're right.
the
Right.
world supply is not there. And then we can pigeonhole after that. I mean, we can piggyback on that, because everybody's like, hey, Grenada, this is nice. But guess what? At the same time, Jamaica is producing some too. And I'm no disrespect to any Grenadians. Brand Jamaica, brand Grenada. Come on now. Come
Brother,
on. No,
don't
let
start the
us.
war. Don't start the war here, bro.
I'm talking about just what's more known. You
Uh,
understand? It's more known. So two of them,
we
you're
don't
gonna
want
be known for
problems.
yourself. I'm not creating a problem, but I'm just saying that the brand is so. What I am banking on is that our brand has such a big footprint that, even because I don't think it'd be a case of us even cutting in their market. It would be a case of us expanding the market, in terms of, because I am almost sure that they don't meet all the demands they have on it. And then you're talking about, I think, what was it? It was soursop. I'm trying to remember which country it was that soursop that really revamped their soursop market. And I was also reading that they still have not gotten to really cut into it. And there are other things too, like, well, yeah, it's kind of hard to compete on meats, because I know that in terms of chicken farming, we import probably $2 billion worth of chicken across the Caribbean. But it's gonna be hard to compete in that, because you know how large scale the American ones are and everything and so forth. But then who knows? Maybe just the whole organic chicken wave that is going around, or organic food wave, might allow us to actually export and say, hey, we don't use hormones, and people would pay a higher price. But I've never really explored that one. But I'm talking about what me sure I go work for we. You understand? We not compete against Chiquita for bananas, that's fine. But we ginger, spices, them things that people want from Jamaica, and the end product, then maybe we can create that sauce, we can create these things and send them out. And these are areas where I think we can compete. So for me, to tie it all back, farming is one area where I think that the diaspora could get involved in on a
So,
wholesale and do
so
some work.
how would you advise, let's say, the diaspora to get involved? So, because I gave you my example, but my example is
Yeah.
a little bit different because obviously,
Hmm.
we have family.
Mm.
I,
Yeah.
I grew in it, so I
Mm.
understand it. What if you are a person that you may be one generation away, you may have not
Yeah.
been, you may only ever
Yeah.
make on holiday. How do you start
Yeah.
to create
True.
those links?
How would I do it? You might actually have to come be put some boots on the ground at first, and
Hmm.
see it, and thing, maybe what you need to do is look and see who has something already happening, something nice and legit and up. Maybe your role is going to be in financing and allowing them to expand. You see who is there. I don't know, like, and I'm just calling a name, like Scotch Boys, who have been doing well in terms of their Scotch bonnet products. Maybe that's somewhere where you could, if you have the necessary capital, you talk to them and say, here, what, let's expand. This is, I'm looking a portion of you, of what or whatever, you pay it. But that could be, but you definitely would need to have boots, come on the ground and see what is there, explore the different opportunities. At the end of the day, you're setting up a company, you're going to have your checks and balances to make sure, say, yo, it right, so that's one area I'm thinking. But in terms of others, you can just be the everyday person who just invest in the different companies, the
Yeah.
established companies and stuff, invest in a Sigma, put some money in the different money market things that we have, because they do well. And I think we have some good financial managers in Jamaica. It might not be what we're known for, like a Cayman or so, but we do have some good ones and some good opportunities, some fixed instruments and things where you can have, and even putting together a little, I guess, a separate pension sort of vibe in Jamaica. Maybe invest in some real estate, things like that. So the opportunities are there, and you have persons in Jamaica who are making good money in their various investments. The things that with the diaspora people, what you might have is an advantage of cash on hand, because I see opportunities sometimes, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not liquid enough to take that on, but somebody else might be able to. And so it's things like that, and it's a good contribution still, overall. And I always tell people, though, whether or not it's not about benevolence alone, because if I'm going to put my money, I expect to make some money. So just like how you do any due diligence with anything in England that you want to put your money in, you do it here. And what you might find is that you get far better returns here, and
So no, no, no. Just in following with that,
yeah,
so we're talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
investments and financial instruments. So you talked about
Mhm.
fixed return instruments, so gilt edge,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
or
Treasury,
stocks, etc.
treasury bond
Mhm.
stocks, and so on.
Mhm.
What about the more riskier things? CFDs, futures, options, etc.
Ah,
Do you bother with that or?
no, because no, the thing is, in Jamaica, a lot of the things that you might encounter in the US and England and so forth, they are not areas that we explore just because of population size. Like there's not enough of a market for make it happen in them ways and so forth. um like if I was in the US or England, I would just put my money more than likely in a mutual fund and just
Make
forget
it run.
about it. It does make it work, because I know, say, at the end of my work life, when me look, me know would have had a good little bit of run, it would have done so well for me. But
Mhm.
we have very few things like that out here, so it really is limited. I think the most of the investments that we have out here, you'd be looking at stocks and bonds. That's really the some. If there are other ones, it's a select few persons who get it, because and they're not even investing so much here, as in being getting access to overseas things to invest in. So for me, a lot of the investment, if I was looking in Jamaica outside of like the stock market, and so I would be looking at tangible type things. What areas, can I start a little bar around here and so forth, and make my cousin go and deal with it and expand. Can I bring a car wash in here? I know the problem with a lot of those businesses is that you need, either you're gonna have excellent managers or you're gonna need for dead end. So that might be part of the problem. And even if your investment is not immediate, even if you're planning to say
Immediate as
come
far
back,
as returns or
like
just
right,
immediate?
no, like doing it right now, you
Mm.
can be planning for the future, where you decide that, oh yeah, pick up and come back to Jamaica at 55, call it early retirement. you know do your research on what areas you can come on, because you might not want to be working your 9 to 5 over there, but you maybe want to come back here and start a business, look, see what is there, where you're actually going to be on the ground and
Mm.
thing. That's appreciated and so forth. And you know what, another good thing can be even just simple taking care of some kind of charities out here, where you can, that in itself too, even outside that, it's not like business, but for some persons, just maintaining that connection. I know there are lots and lots of places where, even if it's when you come once a year, just to touch in and bring some like stuff for charitable donations and all, that's something else you can do. But to get back to the business side of it, you can be looking to the future. Hey, I'm going to retire at X age. I'm going to want to come back home if that's your desire. These are the options of things that I can do. And, maybe not so labor intensive, but something to keep me active while I'm here. So really, that's what my headspace is at. And thing. Maybe what you might, and when I said your skills, because earlier I said skills, and that is one
Mhm.
thing that we need in this country. Sometimes some skills, there are skills that are dying overall, but just some skills that you might find that you have overseas that we don't have so much of here. you know
Like what? Tell the
um
people.
I'm thinking in terms of, because the truth is, in most areas we're very good regardless. It's just the I would have said the access to equipment and so forth that might hold back some persons. But I'm not know if I'm thinking of anything specifically, but I know in IT you may have some persons who are far more advanced. Maybe that's something you might find it easier to come back home and do it here. It might not make as much money over there, but you're spending less anyway, things like that, and so forth. Anyway, you can. So you just analyze and see if whatever skills you have could be used here. I know overall there've been a drive recently to try and get back people in trades, tradesmen, literal tradesmen, carpenter, them are dead out. Nobody now replace them. The tailors. Prime example, Spokes, which is Dexter Huxtable. He's builds makes suits and so forth. Like he came back home, he was in England, and he's one of the, like, outside of Carlton Brown, that's the person that you hear call when it comes to making, suits and so forth, and it's not like that there aren't good tailors around and thing, but just the professionalism sometimes is the area that be the car. Listen, let me tell you one thing. It's June then. I try to make a suit one tailor from last year, June. I swear to God. Seriously, asked me what the suit there.
No,
I
still
swear
not
to
a
God.
job.
I swear to God.
Brother.
I get the pants, can I body them up and get the pants, the jacket still there.
Mm.
And just the professionalism. Not that man think I joke me, man.
No,
I
man.
mean, it's a youth every
Brother,
day. I love me, because if you realize every day, my suit,
you
I'm
see that suit,
in my
bro.
business, me have my suit,
Mm.
when men support. But just the
Oh, and by the way, when you
professionalism.
said in the business, I want to congratulate you. You won the award last year, right? For
Yeah,
most
yeah,
improved
what do I go to?
financial.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, go on with man.
Yeah, I do to you. But you know, but I kind of feel away because the reason I get most improved, I come to dip the year before, we did ease off like a bit. I deal with some things and it drops, so it go back up. But don't worry, I'm getting it. I have specific aims this year in terms of what I want. I don't make up my mind. Company top 5.
All right,
Nothing below that.
all
And
right.
we'll have this conversation December when we show you.
I'm ready
Company
feet, bro.
top
I'm ready
5.
feet, because we need to talk about the other business as well, bro. But we could talk
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
first.
Yeah, man. But just the professionalism sometimes that you might be able to bring to the table might set you apart, if you come up. Because like I said, Dexter and Carlton are the two top people when it comes to suits, that they can charge premium, because not only is their work good, but them do them thing professionally. You understand? Too much headache people have when we are dealing with some of the craftsmen and tradesmen out here. For a lot of people, it's a hustle. It's a
Mm.
hustle. You come and you link them around one place, around a house back, and them so forth. It's not like with God, them have them store and them thing, and them tell you, say, all right, Tuesday. You mean, all right, we've built this. It's gonna take 3 weeks. You're gonna come in for fitting at this point. We do that first fitting, then we do that final fitting X, and then you collect it, and it goes so. And if there's gonna be a delay, you get a call. Them things they will set you apart. So that's why, like a man, we go and say, all right, Carlton, 120. You say, me pay me 120 rather than go on a skibbo where I tell you 30 grand and 1 year later.
You still
You're
not
still a
good.
weird pants.
But you see
So
now,
things like that.
my memory is slightly different, and I don't know if it's changed over time and the professionalism has got less. But I remember being taken to a tailor in Jamaica
Yeah,
when I
man.
was young. When I was young, and well, then again, maybe the elders had to deal with the same kind of
Yeah.
delays, but you know,
Yeah, but you don't know. You're
but you don't
shielded
know. So
from it.
maybe it was the
Yeah,
same
man.
thing. Maybe it's the same problem.
No,
Maybe
the thing
that's what
is,
you do.
and the thing is, because you have
Mm-hmm.
less and less, because um you have less and less people in that market, really less skilled artisans, because with the advent of, you have more online buying and so forth coming in, it is killing a lot of the craft and thing. Not only that, um the disposable clothing, because
Yeah.
yeah, me, it's gonna be a thing for me where I, all right, me I go pay pay what amounts to $300-400 for a suit, when I could have hop online and grab something for $100 where come and me go get a man do a little adjustment and so forth. So it does kill the craft a bit, and them things that, but it remains that there are skills that might be needed in the country, and not just skills but just how you execute it, that are areas that you can look at still. I mean, I talk like me, I tell you if you come back home, everybody, but just have to come back home. If you don't want to come back home, just find some ways to just go and
You can
help build the
invest back home,
country.
but I feel
Yeah,
like it's
man.
important. It's important across the board, though, to
Hmm.
bring those skills back home. So
Yes,
not just the
yes.
suit making, etc., but just
Mm-hmm.
whatever skill that you might have in America or
Hmm.
Canada or England. You could be a nurse or a doctor or this or that. Try and bring those skills back home, or at
And
least help with the teaching
yeah, yeah,
of those skills
yeah,
back home. I believe
yeah.
that's an important area that
Yeah, man, that's
that
true.
we
A lot of our, because a lot of our, one thing I'll say, like our nurses and so forth, they are like our medical people. I think a whole lot of times it's just the conditions that sometimes they have to work in that hinders them, because they're excellent. I have so many nurse friends. Like as I speak, I'm thinking of one. She's very senior nurse. I can't remember the position name, but in England right now, where you know it does come down to money, because when she was here, she's just a skill, but could barely make ends meet. But she's over there right now. Homegirl has buy a house, her son cool, and she can, if she need to break off something to family back home, she can, little things like that. So, but I'm sure that she's the type where when towards the twilight of her career, she might want to come back here and pass on some of these skills that she's gathered to the younger ones. So it's things like that, really, because no matter how you will have the argument sometimes, and I know there are people who make people will feel like the diaspora is the only use them have for them is remittance and barrel still, but the truth is 3 million Jamaicans the year and about 4 million is outside. 7
are
million
more.
are with that. We
Mhm.
are more. You understand? We there's no fixing of the issues that we have in Jamaica without the diaspora. There's none. And there's no diaspora pride if we don't have Jamaica to be something that we can be proud of. Because you can tell, you is almost can tell a Jamaican when you see them. I don't know how. I was in New Orleans. I went to visit my brother
I start
in
laughing
New
already. I
Orleans,
know it's true. Go on.
and and it was a woman. She was there with a person, and I was shooting one of those street artists. The guy was just doing things right up on Bourbon Street. I'm gonna just look upon her, and I said to my brother, yo, so that woman there Jamaican. She not wearing a flag, no. She was just something. And when she pulled closer, mother say, yo, party come from. I just say, deliberately say, it's a party you come from. And she like, yeah, she like St. Mary. I was just something. We just
Mhm.
have something. And then further than that, you just apart from specifically Jamaican, you can tell Caribbean people because we have an
Oh,
aura.
100%.
We have an
Mhm.
aura. You have an aura. We see it and so forth. For me, just out of being at you is still make me more time able to narrow it down to the island. And if I hear you talk, I can tell you the island.
Mhm.
But even little things, we say a girl walk, I'm like, there's a Asian girl that man. We can't tell. Versus. And we have that. We have
Mhm.
that about us. So may I say, for us as members of the Caribbean who have in those who live here, those who don't live here, it's a source of pride for us,
Mhm.
and to maintain that source of pride, we all have to do what we can to try and make sure that a home. We have somewhere called home. Everybody, the Chinese people in America will always, hey, China is home.
Mhm.
And as much as I want to say, yeah, Africa for the whole of it, but each of we have our own individual island here, our own individual identity that we have to do our best to maintain those islands. Jamaicans, everyone I want to watch this, me I tell you now, don't get too annoyed sometimes when the people make it look like say adjust the Western Union and the MoneyGram them care about and the barrel with the dial soap. Yeah, you see me. Um, it is more time that we need more of the diaspora.
But
Absolutely need more of the
we
diaspora.
also need to build those connections, I believe, Marlon,
Yeah, man. And
and
deliberately
because
so. Yeah.
yeah, because
Mhm.
what I feel as though a lot of people who's if their only connection back home is sending the barrel or sending the Western Union, then you're not
Yeah,
doing enough
there's no
work.
love.
You've
Yeah,
done your work.
yeah, yeah. There's no love right there. You see
Yeah,
me, I say,
it's
and
transactional.
yeah, it is, and it almost feels like in a lot of times it's like a burden and an obligation. You see me? Yeah, you can take pride. Yeah, my little cousin, make sure my little cousin get through school and whatever. And yeah, you take a pride in that. But at the same time, you your connection. a connection is just it's not the type where like you go ball if something happen for Jamaica, and that's it. You need to, but I don't know. I mean, I think government policies have to deliberately foster relations with the
How
diaspora.
could they do that?
Um, even I mean, outside of the fact that going and stepping out and going in different tours and so forth and thing, I think diaspora should have some level of opinion on things. At least touching for their opinion on way to progress. It is tricky because I do believe that you have some issues where if you aren't going to live with the consequences directly, it might be a bit tricky. But
Mm.
generally, just the gist of in terms of, and in fact, you know what? Let me not postulate an idea. What we need to do is ask the diaspora, how would you feel more involved in what happens in your country? What could we do to make you feel more involved in this country that for you call home? Because even if you move go up there at your youngest and you get citizenship and so push to come to shove, them still can deport you right back to
Let
your
me,
so
let
bad
me
for
tell you
bad.
something. Let me tell you something,
Mm,
Marlon, right? We have a case over here with a young lady called Shamima Begum, right? I
mhm,
don't know if you're familiar, but
mm,
she was 15 and she was courted, and she went to a war-torn island, terrorist, etc.
mhm, mhm,
Um, and she's born in England, raised in England, but of
mhm,
descent from Bangladesh, of Bangladeshi descent.
mhm.
Anyway, the long and short is because she had gone to what was classed as a terrorist
Terrorist country.
nation, country,
Them,
they said that they took away her nationality.
and send her back to Bangladesh.
And basically, she's now without, she doesn't have a
Have a
nationality,
citizenship. Whoa.
not
And
even
yeah,
citizenship, nationality.
yeah,
She's
that's it. Yeah.
not British, she's not nothing. And
She's and that's the problem. Because we see what happened with the Windrush generation.
of course,
People who have
so
given so much to England, who were basically left out in the cold, people who have only known England as a home that you want to send to Jamaica, a place that is strange for them, really. And so the thing is, I say if them can't kick you and send you back here, and at least I will try to do my best to make sure say you're so comfortable.
yeah,
My land it comfy and
100%.
maintain.
But it's
Yeah,
also a
but yeah.
recognition. It's also a
Mm,
recognition of home. So I speak to so many people over here that don't necessarily have the same experience as me,
mm,
and they feel as though they don't have somewhere to call home, and so it's really a tough conversation with them because
mhm,
you are telling them, well, then you have to go and find out, right? You have to go and do your
mhm,
research, go follow your family, go
mhm,
chat to your
mhm,
people, and build from there. But it's not
mhm.
easy for some people who never,
It's not easy. And
never.
then worse, the truth is, you have some people here that they must, oh, my cousin from England, and all them I think about is, oh, them can tear them pocket.
Mhm.
That's
That's
it.
true.
That's the truth. But you know what? Family and no blood alone. Land, you
Exactly.
might make some new friends and so forth. I have some friends who no blood at all, but I will, yeah, man, may go through barbed wire for them people there, and likewise, it's me. And I have some family where I would walk past on the road. So friends and the family you choose.
You have to
So
be
you have to do
discerning.
something.
You have to be very
Yeah, man.
discerning with your friends and family, and do due diligence as you would do business. You have to do that with
Yeah,
family sometimes as well. So
trust me,
one of
man.
the other things I wanted to speak to you about,
Yeah,
we spoken at length on business and the business
yeah,
opportunities, etc.
yeah.
But you are a man of many talents, and
Allegedly.
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 Now, I am proud. Let me tell you a little bit
Mm,
about me. So,
mm.
obviously, Jamaican, grew up in a Jamaican household. The only
But
thing we
hope you
knew.
play sound, Cause you have a sound man voice. Listen, I hope you
Yeah,
MC, cause
definitely,
you have a
definitely.
sound man voice.
A sound man, bro.
Exactly. You have a sound man voice.
So hear this.
Definitely. Mhm.
Um, the only thing we knew about soca growing up, nanny
Yeah.
wine, maybe,
Yeah.
and that's a and
Yeah. Yeah.
cent dollar.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's it,
In Colin Lucas and so forth. Yeah.
right?
And team.
But now I am so about 2014. I joined a band, a group called Just Now, produced by Bungie Garlin and all these people.
I'm a G that. I want
Right.
to tell you. Yeah, and I'm
So
a G.
the group said to me, you are Jamaican, but you have to come to Trinidad. You have to go to Carnival. You have to experience Carnival. Because we don't really do, we never really do Carnival so much. You know me, I did, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know,
I've
so that's
seen,
what we grew up with.
I have seen, and I was going to say that I think I'm responsible for part of the transition in Jamaica, but we'll touch
Hey,
upon that.
we're gonna, brother, we go in there. We're saying I rush too much.
No,
Um,
man, we're good. We have time. I'm home.
all right. So
Mm.
2014, I got to Trinidad and I experienced Carnival for the first time. Fell in love with soca music. Fell
Mind
in
blowing,
love with
wasn't it?
Carnival.
Well, I
Want to see
know,
there
I
with my
know,
black, gold, and green, brother? Me
I
one,
know, I know the
me
feeling,
one.
bro.
And so over the years, obviously, I've been coming to Jamaica Carnival,
Mm.
and I've been seeing the growth. And I've
It's
now seen that soca festivals in Jamaica are humongous. I am so proud.
yeah, man.
I-
I listen, like you, mine was growing up for me. Soca was calypso. It was mostly
yes,
calypso. You know, you heard Dollar Wine and them thing there, and that was in the
Byron Lee, look at
90s.
Byron Lee every now and
Yeah,
again.
Byron Lee. Byron Lee has been a pioneer. God rest him soul. The Dragon
No,
is and a man. You understand it good. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. We're good again. All right. So we're talking Sparrow, Arrow, Gabby. Um, those are the people were the ones I used to hear. Is what I used to call it is Calypso Corner. I think it's
yes,
RJR used to have it, Calypso Corner. So that was my exposure to soca. Not even soca, it was my exposure to calypso, which I liked because it was such a storytelling art. It was an art of storytelling. So I liked it from then. So
mhm,
fast forward to me going to university in the midnight, I aging myself now, but I went to U in 96. And yeah, I
mhm,
know I'm not as young as I look. And I got exposed to soca, like all these people from Trinidad and Barbados and the islands. And I remember going to an event in, remember the first time, I can tell you exactly where I was when I fell in love, like you fall in love with soca. Joker's Juve that featured Machel Montana and Ecstatic,
boy.
Machel Band, and David Rudder as headline. And this
All right.
was six, let me see, make sure I'm at seven. It was 1998, March.
Whoa.
Jokers was having, they brought in, and it was a Juve that was going to have right in the time. And I stood there and I heard David Rudder come on stage and started High Mass. And when he
Mhm.
started High Mass, and Sarah, it felt like a spiritual experience. I was standing right there in at this party, looking up at this. I don't know who this man is, David Rhodes. I'm singing, and then later found out he was the rally one arresting this guy, and he's singing, "All of it, and and I'm standing there, one hand up, eyes closed, and it felt spiritual.
Mhm.
It felt
Mhm.
spiritual, and I left that Juve the morning, paint up head to toe, weaved my way back to campus. I couldn't even get a taxi, but somewhere I walked all the way back to campus, painted, and I was like, I got to do this again. And I
Ah,
started getting more, yeah, so and I just started, man, I like it. Then fast forward now, same Bunji, 99. Kurt Riley, we were doing UE Carnival and thing. I had been away. I'd left the university. I'd gone on a leave of absence. But I came back for UE Carnival. 6 o'clock in the morning, the Juve wrapping up 6, 7 o'clock, and Kurt Riley started playing some music with this music, bam bam. And I'm hearing this guy with a DJ sounding voice, but it's soca, Bunji. And I say,
well,
yo, Kurt. He's like, no, 19 or 2000. I'm like, Kurt, who that brother? Yeah. And them say a bungee girl in that man, and the baddest thing. I think it was give me my brass, he must say, give me my brother. Me, I'm like, whoa. Meet him
you
two
see me
years
a
later.
smile, bro?
Yeah,
Ah,
I met him. And then 2 years later, so we meet him about 2 years later at the next Jokers thing, him and Fayan, 2 or 3 you meet and make the link. And from then is my link. But
mhm,
I was part of a team on my block who restarted an event called Hard Wine. You see, at
mhm,
that time, Soca had been, Byron tried to make it something for the masses. He tried, sincerely tried to make it something for the masses, but Carnival not cheap. so the
No.
masses won't always log on. He tried. What you found was Bacchanal came out, Bacchanal was an amalgamation of like Oak Ridge Boys and Frenchmen and all of them. Bacchanal. So they're doing their carnival thing and everything. And remember, there's a big controversy because carnival was right in Easter Sunday one time and the church was not having it, which is
Yeah.
why you'll find that our carnival is a week after right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Carnival. So Easter Sunday, the church was like, no, cannot
Um,
happen. So it moved
mhm.
back a week now, I think. So we've had that. And I think what you've had carnival grow in, I think, three stages. You had the 90s where it was there. Byron did try to get it to be a mass thing. It never really to work. You had Bacchanal coming in and doing it, and it became seen as an uptown thing. It's for
Yeah.
uptown people and the bougie. In the 2000s to 2010, that was Bacchanal ruled. It's Bacchanal alone, not other band, not the boat. Bacchanal till about that. What you had happening now, and I think as part because during all of the time we're doing hard wine. I was part of hard wine for a few years. Um, you have Yui Carnival being the longest running carnival in Jamaica that's happening. Because I was in charge of that at one point. I was doing that, and my love for soca just getting deeper. What I find was happening that soca started playing more in parties, more than the five soca songs, you know.
Yeah.
And
Balance.
we
Oh,
yeah.
you know which
No,
balance.
Palance would have been yeah,
You,
Palance would have been late, way
yeah, you know
later.
which
Yo,
balance.
big up Jason anyway,
Yeah.
him there and thing, pick him up there. And 2010 into 11, what you start seeing, and 12 is a little bit of dip that's happening in terms of just a dip in terms of the numbers. It's Bacchanal is putting, I think, probably 2,000 people on the road, if so much, and things a little dip. The new boys, the transition, what I think has happened was because I remember we did an event with Bacchanal, me and big up Andrew Bellamy, big up Andrew Bellamy. If you speak about carnival in Jamaica, Andrew Bellamy, his name has to be called. I think this reiteration of carnival that we've had in the 2010s coming into now has a lot of that rests on his shoulders. I'm gonna give him flowers while I'm alive. You understand? Because what you had, they started I Love Soca
Yes.
in, and I Love Soca started like, was it 2010 or 2011? 2011, I believe. And I was one of the 157 people that was there. Thing, well, little thing. And it has transitioned into something that I sure has touched 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Well, 8 to 10,000 people already, it has. And they, with faith, dropped it because what you had, our carnival week was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Frenchmen had those into the carnival. They did Wednesday night. They took a risk and drop a big soca party, well, a little soca party on the Wednesday night, which has grown, which has actually fueled Jamaica's carnival week. So we did some work in the 12s into 13s and coming in, and then the boys got bold, the kids got bold and said, hey, them all basically create an expand. Bacchanal is there, but coming out of 2015, you had Dream guys doing Exodus. I think 2016 was our
Yes.
first year, and Andrew and his team doing Jamaica
Yeah.
2016, which shockingly, I think a lot of people were fingers crossed, could this work, and it worked. And
Mhm.
2017, you saw the numbers jump where from 2,000 people on the road maximum, you're looking at Bacchanal having their numbers, but you're looking at these two new bands pulling in 2,500 people. So all of a sudden, the road is there. And I think, honestly, COVID did a lot because 2018, 19, every year you saw numbers jumping. You saw people coming into Jamaica because what was happening was they're presenting a product where it is never going to be Trinidad Carnival
No.
because Trinidad Carnival is rooted in culture. But for those people who just wanted some party for rave and galang body in the middle of a road and on vacation, it was a good alternative. It was a cheap alternative. The facilities were there. We had rooms. We have rooms. We have the road, etc. And a lot of the brand name carnival products came to Jamaica during that time and so forth. There were people who were two minds about it. Copy were like, yo, we're trying to build our authentic carnival. But then the others were like, yo, you need a brand like Caesar's Army. You need a brand like Caesar's Army to
Mhm.
stamp and authenticate your party. You need Scorch and them people are coming in. You need the
Exactly.
Trinity DJs to come and basically say, yeah, man, stamp of approval. So
Mhm.
2020 slowed it down, but I think we were back out last year and we're back this year, and think the reiteration, the numbers are growing again, and the push now has been for a more Jamaican carnival, not a replica of Trinidad. They're like something that speaks to our own identity. So a big debate is whether or not dancehall should be playing in carnival, and I am. It should absolutely be playing in carnival.
On the road,
It
or you mean in the parties?
it should play overall, but it depends on the type of dancehall. You see,
All
what is
right.
going to be the challenge is going to be the challenge is going to be twofold. One, the challenge is going to be on the DJs playing,
Mm-hmm.
and two, on the artists creating music, because there have been attempts to create, because there was what name is Yard Jam it name, I think Travis did do that about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Three no, it was for the with Bunji was on it, Fair and a couple of people on it, Yard Jam and so forth. Remember that? It was created and it never get the hit because 2020, I believe it was created. And then
Conscience was on that?
yes,
Conscience was on that?
I think Cons was probably on it, and Cons was on it. If I look up for it, I'll see it. It been on my email somewhere. But I think it should play for. This is my reasoning. Nobody, you're coming to Jamaica.
Yes.
For Jamaica.
For Brand Jamaica, yes.
Brand Jamaica, a big part of Brand Jamaica is dancehall. Now, every other island, because when I land in Barbados, I go hear Bashment, and which came out of dancehall, by the way. Yes, Peter, me know, right? Out of dancehall. When you go to Grenada, no, Peter Coppin out of Masterpiece. For me, Bashment is sped up. It sounds like sped up 90s dancehall. It sounds 90s dancehall with a little speed on it and so forth, like early morning when you just wake up, look me up. It's 90s dancehall with just on a faster tempo and thing. And things. So that's how it sounds to me. And they will, Coppin probably had a lot of dancehall influence in that and thing. But then when I go Grenada, I go hear Jab. All right. Yes. When I go hear the Dinery segment in a St. Lucia. Basically, every island plays their music. The only difference is every island's music sounds closer to soca. So you don't notice when them play for the music. Our music is, as usual, us Jamaicans, we have to be different. we think our dancehall is jarring. So you're going to notice it. So everybody else plays their music. So why can't we play ours? Now, me, knowing that Carnival is a light season, I do not expect to hear Vanish and hardcore dancehall, real hardcore dancehall on the road. It's a happy occasion. This is for dance and for galang and forget me. Don't need to hear about nobody and dead. Me not really need to hear about the chopping music. So the type of music that Ding Dong give you and so forth is what I expect to hear on the dancehall.
So you're looking for more dancing, RDX, Ding Dong, them kind of thing there.
On the road.
And that kind of tempo as well, which works with the tempo, right?
And and the chipping and so forth and thing, and so forth. And you see, and then it depends, because even with Juve, when you touch Juve music, I always associate groovy soca with Juve music. Yes. Laid back, rum in hand with slowly chipping me, a while a girl nice and slow. So some of our dancehall, like if me I play a Juve set in the early morning one time, I would have played like even Movado thing where I have with stations, lady, that slow down, that can play. That sort of music where you're playing a little segment where man and woman get close together and just rub a dub and then you go on. I'm good with that. What I don't want to hear is big up yourself, Massacre, but Massacre gunman tune them on the road, I know my thing. But even that, have a little space, because if a man goes and drop two of them there and does, hey, turn up the crowd and move on. I don't need an extended segment of it, because it's still Jamaica. People still come here for Jamaica, to experience Jamaica. And so I think. Sorry,
I don't want to cut you.
Oh no, that was me. That was my point. Yeah.
Based on that, though, would you not like then for Jamaica to create Jamaican soca?
Yes, that would sound like. No, but that's part of it too, because big up, let we go. Try. They've been trying to create, and was it Travis that they worked with in creating a soca type thing? And you have big up Brush One. Brush One has put out a couple of soca songs. It's Jamaican and so forth, and all. And we've had the collabs with Jamaican and so much.
Charlie Blacks
and so forth. Exactly. I mean, Party Animal went so big You
But Soca
understand?
don't want to accept it. Soca says it's not a Soca song. It's a Soca song.
Well,
A
I
groovy.
mean, soca songs that are on it, them accept them as soca
We will
songs,
take you to
and
Trinidad and Tobago on the same
yeah,
rhythm.
that turn up the whole world.
Yeah.
And he went there and competed
Mm-hmm.
in their international soca monarch and so forth. I think, but I get they're going to probably say it's a crossover, it's a collab, but soca itself as a music, yeah, I think they should, because just like how we can look and say Trinidad is dancehall,
Yes.
I think that soca coming out of Jamaica should be seen as soca and all. It, even if it's not a soca artist per se. I think the problem is that the quality of the things that we are, of the ones that we have tried so far, does leave some to be desired. You know, because I find that we will have the artists are trying to do a accent like Trini, like a Trini or a Bajan be doing the song. And no, your same Jamaican. What makes it soca is not the accent. I think it's the cadence, the pitch, the subject matter, how it's constructed. So you can sing it in your own Jamaican something, because same thing. Early morning, we just wake up, walk we are, walk we are, walk we are, walk. It's soca, but
Yeah.
it's a raw Jamaican accent. You have a bashment, it go play right in Barbados, and when we drop that in a bliss later this year, the place will turn over, depending on the time, and that's it. So I think we have been fighting this battle where we're trying again to create Trinilite. We don't need to try someone like a Trinidadian when you're doing just for it to be soca. I think it's the rhythm and everything. When Daniel Bedingfield, him name, came and where will you go? That song from the who's the rhythm that shit? I can't remember the rhythm name. Yeah, as in Natasha Bedingfield, little brother, when him come to that song where I remember the freaking dancer, but him.
But
Yeah,
either way, whether it's him
yeah,
or whether it's the what's the name that did the shape of you,
yeah.
all of
Ed
those songs.
Sheringham.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ed Sheringham. Yeah.
you
This
can
is
say that's reggae or you can feel the
it's
dance on
reggae.
it.
Yeah.
So why would you
And
not say that?
music as soca still. But I think a lot of times is that there's a little, there's this good nature at times rivalry between Jamaica and Trinidad. There is like, listen, Jamaica and Trinidad act like two siblings,
They are
Wherever
though.
want be. Yeah, they are. We're trying to get mommy. Yo, I want to be mommy's favorite child, and I want be, and that's it. So every time I see little island war flare ups, I laugh, because you'll have people there that's a card back and forth, and they don't mean anything. Like me have a Trini X, and me, I'm fully a card Trinidad. I say, oh no, just shut up and just send the snacks them and come and stop being. And she's like, and them are like, right now we can't even look at the exchange rate because we're never sure if your dollar can buy the snacks, things like that. And for me, it's good. It's jokes. It's jokes because
I think there's a fine line. There's a fine line, Marlon, where, and this is another thing, and this is other reasons why I created Rum and Bass, and we kind of take it. Because there's a fine line where us as islanders will know this is banter, it's jokes, and we're supposed to have jokes. Whether it's your football team, my cricket team, etc., we're supposed to have jokes. But then some people take it too far, and then create these island wars that it's like, no. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the jokes.
The funniest thing I've ever seen, really bantering happening between Caribbean islands. I don't remember which dumb American decided to come in and say something, and the two islands are like, pause. Excuse you, this are between me and my brother. Where you are come and all, and the things like that. Because, especially if you've ever, if you, for the people who've been to UA, any of the UA campuses, is banter. The Caribbean for me, it is my thing is this: if Olympics are going, I cheer for Jamaica first, and then I cheer for the Caribbean second. If there's no Jamaican in it, I cheer for the Caribbean. And outside of the Caribbean is any black athlete outside of America. Any black athlete anywhere else, America is last. Yeah, I'm serious.
You have nothing left. Nothing left.
And we're like select athletes from America, like Carmelita Jeet, like Alison Felix, Sandra Richard Ross, select American athletes. But and that's how we are. That's how we are. And I think you're right.
Not cheering for Chikari.
Aye. You know,
I'm not cheering for Shikari because boy, she
I'm
said too
gonna
much.
tell you this from week, and I've said it. If you saw my tweets, I said, "Uno too forgiving,"
Yeah.
because them come here and eat two patty and take two jerk chicken and half
Oh
a
no, I
sudden
lied. Oh,
him and Justin Gatlin. I don't say I'm gonna send you that tweet. I say, you see what you did do? It can't rub out.
no,
It cannot rub
no.
out. You're this one of my ladies. You're this a elder like Alison Felix, Alison who we love. One of the
Mm-hmm.
3 Americans that we actually like.
Mm-hmm.
No. And think I'm said no. And I'm looking at him and said, I was say, you're not being forgiven. I'm saying no.
No,
For
man.
me, it done.
You can't
It
come
done.
and down to KFC and then talk about and then
Yeah,
all is
and
forgiven.
say, yeah, man, no, we not
No,
care.
sir.
You
No.
man house
And I wear your
kill you.
Jamaica jersey. No, sir. No,
We
sir.
don't care. No,
No.
no.
Wait.
Me with the rival. It's like no, Lyle. No, we like Lyle from start. Cause Lyle keep the thing real. Lyle is
Mm.
him, and it's not even about cockiness, you know. Because you can be very confident and still be humble. Lyle is very confident about him athlete ability, but we like him. It's a good
Mm.
you. See, Oblique beat him, and what do you do? Him not cuss. Him say, oh, all right, see you in Paris then. And we like that. We like
Yeah.
somebody we can. He's back and forth. And guess what? When him win, if him win in Paris, and then it's so forth, and him drop a card, we probably drop back a card and we good. You
Mm.
see me? And all, but no, some people as the panelist of will never. We never right now,
So,
right now. As much as Atobol and a Jamaican, all you right now we appreciate we. Can remember your comment them. So we remember
long
everything.
time, long time.
Long time.
Historical,
But
historical.
he's the one.
Um,
We have the one.
so bringing it all back to
Yeah, like
one Caribbean, one
one Caribbean.
unity, one unity. If we want to take it to the
Yeah.
Rasta level, seeing Soca doing so well in Jamaica,
Oh.
it's great because I have this thing called, are Jamaicans invited to the fete? And I've been around, just like you, I've been around the world from St.
Yeah.
Vincent. I go to St. Vincent and they say to me, where you from? I say, Jamaica. They say, why you here? I say, well, I come to go to carnival,
Yeah.
whatever else. And so there is a point now though where I'm not the only one waving the flag. I'm looking across and I'm seeing other people like, and I'm saying, well, here we go. We're but then when I speak to other people though that are not Jamaican necessarily, people have openly said to me, why do you guys want to be involved in everything? And I'm like, well, number one, it's open.
Yeah,
and number
and it's
two,
a good time.
it's a good time and I love it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I don't know if it's born of a fear that we will Jamaicanize it or quote unquote or take it over. I'd hope not. But it is because I can throw the same thing back at everybody. I'm gonna say that almost every Caribbean country has pulled something from Jamaica without they might not even realize. Same way Jamaica has pulled something from a lot of Caribbean countries without, because right now we can literally go buy roti and think about some short roti somewhere, and we have where you might have people who don't realize it's really a Trinity thing or a Guyanese thing, depending on how you look on it. So we all pull, we all pull. Yeah, me never know about that. Was a curry chicken or chicken curry. Me not get that argument with them, But just say make sure a little ginger in it, man. All right. That's not when I run my belly. We pull from each other and we have to. And because I remember in Antigua, Carnival, it's a Tuesday morning, the second day of Carnival, pretty much, when I came out, it's Spice and Cartel me here, greet me on the road. When the truck and my warm up and everything, we pull from each other, and I think we make each other better in terms of that. So there's no fighting. I mean, I love Bunji's sound, but you can tell that Bunji's sound is influenced a little bit by dancehall, which has in turn influenced other Trini artists. We hear some of our artists and you hear the melody and you can know say it got influenced by not just Trinidad but the US and so forth. Music can't stay one place. It cannot. It literally cannot. Music can't stay one place. And if we actually sat down and look deep into every genre of music, you'll realize where the influences come from and everything. And all away, at the end of the day, influence right back to Africa. When you look on the whole away music, Trinidad music, Jamaican music, all away. Trinidad might have the influence of East Indians in it also and all. But I don't see why we should lock the gate on anybody else right now. Anywhere get black people can gather together and feel good in unity is a good place to be. Anywhere where we can gather somewhere and we feel safe. What we need to worry about, what we should gatekeep is other people coming in and telling us how to do our thing. But us as a Caribbean, we can't gatekeep against each other. You understand? Anywhere like you go, you're Buccanex Caribbean person, and even for two different islands, the chances of you two being friends higher than you and some other race. Way
100%.
100%. You understand? Me might end up call you Trini for 3 years and never know what your real name be. In fact, that's true. But
Yeah.
Bridget, I Trini we call him. I cannot. His Facebook we seen on the other day. I'm learning the man real name. I never Trini your name. You know, that's how Trini, come here. One thing.
But
And
even
that's
though
it.
say
And
I'm
that's
your girl, that's all you know, brother.
exactly, yeah, and thing. And so us being there, I Soca me that MC for I've MC'd Soca for the last. I eased out a dancehall MCing for how long? He's mainly Soca me MC. I have a DJ, Mad Camps, who that's what he's known for. We're going Barbados where I go. I'm
Mhm.
hope them not expect say a dance. We're gonna get a little dancehall, but I hope you
No,
understand that
I need to
he
see.
can play. Mhm.
I
And
need to
sing
see it, bro.
Soca. Yeah, man, he's good, man. And thing. And we have so many DJs coming out of here who are playing soca, and it mystifies me because when Trinity DJs come here for Carnival, a lot of them do play some dancehall,
Mhm.
and play it with such competence that you know that they've been listening and they've been playing it and really been playing it, and some of them might even have a deeper knowledge of dancehall than some of my local DJs. This is true.
Yeah.
Shockingly, just in having the conversation you realize because they're such students of it. So I don't see how we can't pigeonhole, we can't gatekeep a fet and gatekeep a event and music. Gatekeeping
No,
music may not say how it
brother,
thing.
the way I look at it all now, having traveled the
Mm,
world,
mhm.
my recognition is that we, as a Caribbean people, partying together, there's no
Yeah,
greater
okay.
than being. We do Japan Soca Weekender. Roma Base does Japan Soca Weekender. And on that Saturday when it's Roma Base, you have 500, 300, 500 people all together
Mm.
from
Oh god.
everywhere in the Caribbean. We just
Oh
party
god,
together
man. Oh
in
lord, it's fun
Japan.
because I saw somebody doing it in Dubai, a soca weekend in Dubai. I mean,
Mhm.
like, look at that. I've seen my boys set them in Germany upon a soca party. I mean, like, wow. And for me, just the energy. We can't keep music. It just let it. We just enjoy it and just it is unity. No matter where you drop it, Caribbean people, one place enjoying themselves. Just that we could probably solve a lot of the Caribbean's problems in effect. We could probably
In
a lot
effect,
of the issues
but the
in
biggest
effect.
problem and the biggest argument would be which rum is the best rum. Because we have
Um,
to go with maybe Ray, maybe Punching, maybe
that's
Sunset,
not.
maybe
I
you
mean,
know.
I have had, and I am thinking, I genuinely think that Appleton 8-year-old reserve blend as a red rum is the best in class right there, right?
Better
Where
than
you
12
might
year
have
old. Better
no
than the African
from
12.
I think it is. I think it's Appleton's best expression in terms of the price point, what it
Uh,
does, the quality, etc. When I look at it,
mm,
because when we're going higher, when we are go higher, it's good because um for a minute, cause I used to be Appleton ambassador.
mm,
I find that is that rum that it how would I put it? It's probably like a good pair of clocks. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. It good anywhere. It's
yeah.
like it's like you have a good bank robber, and it depends on everything else where you put with it. It is something we can pour and chop one cube of ice in and enjoy it. Or might use it
Nice.
as a base for a cocktail and all. The rest of them, like from a touch of 12, me like, no, please, I just me not even giving that. Me never want ice. Just straight in a cup and give me. But it's
Mm,
such a flexible, I find. As in across the Caribbean. For me, other rums that I like 1919. out of
I was gonna
Trinidad. But
say
like,
Angostura
I
1919. You can't
oh,
sleep when that one
I
there, my man.
love that 1919. We get a
Mm.
1919. I remember the first time I had 1919 was when Bolt ran 1919, and my Trini sister gave me a bottle of
Yeah,
1919,
hold that.
and I had that for me with a squeeze of lime and a little bit of
Mm.
ice, just like one cube of ice, and it's just so good. And thing. I had one from Barbados now, because most people know Mount Gay from Barbados, but my friend introduced me to the one called Old Brigand and thing.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's a nice regular rum.
Mm.
It's not no fancy rum, but it drink good. It just drink nice, you know, and so forth. So I think depending on your taste, everybody are gonna say them have the best rum, but I will put up my Appleton 8-year-old reserve. I'll put it up as that in class rum, because what I find what Appleton does with is the fact that when Appleton tell us say a rum is 8 years old, they mean that the youngest rum in that is 8 years old. Other places, all they need to do is have 25% of the age to call it that. So when them say it's an 8-year-old rum, they only need to have 25% 8-year-old in the
Mm.
blend. Appleton, the youngest rum them use is an 8-year-old. So you find that is a rich rum. You understand? And your guts and the legs are beautiful and everything. So you might all drink an 8-year-old, but it have some 10 and 12-year-old age rum in it. So they had one the other day I tasted named Decades. 10 year
Oh,
they have decades, 60-year-olds are rum, like from the rum that they had from the year of Jamaica's independence.
all the way
10
through.
10 years all the way through and blended. Sarah, heaven. The taste that me like this taste expensive. Like me taste this and me feel rich. like yeah man. Me taste this man and me must have whole heap of like 7 figures in my account in a US and pound. Me taste this rum
Whoa.
expensive. Beautiful piece of rum.
Yeah,
Beautiful
man.
rum.
I
That's
mean,
a word.
the 8-year-old, I do like the 8-year-old. I prefer the 12, me personally.
Oh no, it's a good one.
The Santiago de Cuba, though, I like that. The 1919, I like that. The 1926, I like that as well. The Angostura. I feel that those are my favorites. I can't choose. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
choose. Love
yeah.
them all.
So if you have not had Appleton had one that came out called the Rare Cast, 15-year-old rum. Is that
Oh
called a
no.
Rare Cast? Black River is a Black River Cast or a Rare Cast? Black River Cast. All right, because the 12-year-old rum is a Rare Cast. The Black River Cast them have 15-year-old rum. It's recent. I think it's like 3 years ago them release it.
You feel me? It's that in the supermarket, but just couldn't reach
three,
you know.
piece of rum.
You
No,
know the
because
worst,
listen,
you know the worst thing
when
about it, brother. You see, when you bring that back,
yeah.
you have a family gathering or whatever, and
Mm.
cause you know if you drink it, it's ice
Yeah.
at the most, ice at the most.
And they want to put chase at night.
Brother,
No, man. Because people, man, like, what you mean? We ask what chaser. You can't imagine. You see me. I open my bottle of joy. That is named in honor of the female master builder, the only one in the world, the lady with the most Mlaja rum, who's so good that her taste buds are insured. And me go trying to throw out the joy, and you ask where egg, you're not a Red Bull.
Cause everybody and fight everybody else here.
Man, that's why we hide it, man. We hide it.
Yeah,
So
man,
no,
hide it, man.
when you come, when you see some rum there, see
Look
some
white rum.
signature. Drink that. Do I do? See
White rum.
some white rum.
Brother, it's been a
Great
pleasure
spirit.
speaking to you.
Sarah. Yes, bro. I am overdue, long overdue, but I'm glad we did do it still and everything and all of that, brother. And definitely. Next trip in the island, just let we know. We definitely have to link up. I'll go hijack a bottle of that 15-year-old and we'll discuss life.
We definitely have to do that with the 15-year-old, bro. And I gotta come to the Soca party and so on and so forth. So yeah, man, next time we reach, it should be in a couple of months or so. So yeah, we'll link up, bro.
Beautiful.
But yeah, man, more than that, tell the people them where they can get in contact with you, etc. Remember, we've spoken for a long time, so they might have even forgot that we spoke about finance to start off with. I'm gonna remind everybody again. This is Marlon J Campbell, aka finance consultant, financial advisor, MC. If you need your parties livening up, if you need your finances livening up, you have to shout this, brother. Targeting,
Yeah, man, guys, I'm here on Instagram. It's at Marlon Music. That will be the first two names there. See right there. Just put it together at Marlon Music. Um, you reach me there. Everything is there. Email and number is right there, and you can just shoot me a DM and everything. It's the same name across all platforms. You search that name, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, same name right across and all, and you'll find it and so forth. Just hit me up, whatever it is, from whatever MC your wedding or we want to talk about your finance, whatever area it is, hit me up and we can talk. It has been a pleasure and thing. I didn't realize you're so long we sit down here and I thought the time does does fly
Yeah, let's talk,
along.
we gotta shoot the breeze, bro.
Yeah,
That's
man.
right.
All
That
right,
is
bro.
it.
So
All right.
the ganga, we're almost my domino time. So
All right, brother. Blessings. Thank you so much, man.
blessings. Thank
Yes.
you very much for having me, brother. All
No
right.
problem.
I love this one.